more than 40,000, we have more than 40,000 students in our three campuses. And in terms of the academic staff, we have more than 12,000, sorry, 12,000. So in terms of, maybe we move on first. I will share more about our campus and how many colleges we have. So this is a timeline showcasing all our Singapore's public school founding years. And um so we recognize as Singapore's first and the oldest flagship university, serving as a cornerstones of all the public higher educations in the countries. As you can see, the second oldest is actually NTU, which is more than around like 50 years old. Okay. Um, so in terms of the faculties, we act based on in fact, we have the most numbers of faculties compared to other public schools in Singapore. We have we have a total of 16. It's a pretty broad range. We like ranging from arts and social sciences, law. We even have the faculty of music in our school. All right. So these are our three campuses. Our three campuses is actually side by side. Usually our students are able to hop on our campus bus to travel around the campus. So our main campus is actually the Cambridge campus, which is the top one. Okay. Our campus, I can say we are a smart and green sustainable campus. It's like a Singapore's campus in rainforest because we are very happy to become an aspiring environment for learning. And fun fact, our goal is actually we want to plant 100,000 trees by 2030. So this is our uh tiny goal, okay, in the future. So yeah, our three campuses is actually home to over 40 thousand students and 12,000 staff. All right. So that's all for the NUS, and let's take a step back and look at the bigger pictures itself, Singapore. All right. So what's the life in Singapore? So today, Singapore is a global hub for innovation, business, and connectivity. And I believe that most of the peoples around like ASEAN, especially ASEAN countries, they will think about why Singapore is such a great place to study. It's not just about study, work, and also grow. So let's explore. Our country is often called a little red dot because of the small size. Okay. And even though it's a small size countries, in terms of the total populations, we have over 6 million total populations in the total land area, with just 334 square kilometers. So that's why we often call a little red dot. Okay. Here's a few fun fact. We are one of the world's top countries for politicals and operational stability. So that's why it's one of the best reasons for the people to study, work, and grow. Okay. Another thing is there's three booming industries. Number one is manufacturing industries. The second is financial services, and then medical technology. Okay, so all these three booming industries credit towards to biomedical technology, precision engineering, manufacturing clusters. All right. So the next reasons it's the strategic gateway. So because of its perfect connectivity to the Southeast Asia and the world, and based on and it's a very dynamic innovation hub. In fact, there's 80% out of hundreds. The world's top IT companies headquarters, they have the presence in Singapore. All right. So we are like a home to global NMC R&D centers. So that's why many all I mean because of this reason, because of this, our schools often partner with all these NMC. So these are able to allow our students, especially for our postgrad students, to work on live project during their study terms in the NUS. Okay. And then last but not least, we are multicultural melting pots. We are like a multicultural ethnic melting pots. Okay. Um, we have a lot of international students in our campus and also the Singapore. So, but we are still able to rely on one language as our medium of communications in our daily lives, which is English. Okay. Oh yeah. So another important reasons which I think is it's because we are one of the safest garden cities in the world. All right, so safety, I think, is probably the very, very top reasons that when you're considering to study overseas, right? So based on the data, we are the top safest countries in the world, and because of the law is strictly enforced in our countries, which means like, for example, no chewing gum, no jaywalking. Okay, maybe you may Google it. Why no chewing gum in our countries? All right, so here's some of the fun fact. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Why choose our school for your postgraduates? All right. The first one, of course, industry relevance and multidisciplinary programs. Our schools actually encourage cross disciplines and problem solving relevant programs. These makes students because the program is actually designed for a complex global challenge. And because of these, our students are able to learn across faculties and also the fields. Okay, so and the next one, we like what I mentioned just now, because there's many well-known NMCs like Google, ByteDance, TikTok, they have the presence in Singapore. So, and we have a lot of global partnerships. So that's why, because of this, our students they are able to gain more experience than others universities in the world. Okay, to expand your global perspective. Okay, so in terms of the strong career outcomes, I will share a bit after this. Um, so next one, I will talk about our masters by coursework programs in our schools. So in NUS, right, the postgraduate programs, there's two types. One is coursework programs, and then another one is research programs. So the differences between these two is actually masters by coursework programs is actually taught with structured modules, meaning you will have lectures and assignments and also project-based programs. And it often includes capstone projects and practicum training and industrial internships. Okay, so these typical aims for the professionals who want to upskill themselves about specialized technical skills. Okay, so there's a very big contrast. So what about the research program? Research program is actually very straightforward. It's thesis driven. Okay, and so if you have passions to translate, not translate, to create a new knowledge in a specific industry, you may go for research. If you just want to enhance your CV, improve your knowledge about specific industries, please go for masters by coursework. All right. Um, so yeah, these are the comparisons between a masters by coursework and masters by research and also the PhD. All right. Yeah, so we have more than 170 postgraduates by coursework programs, and these are just the example listing. So these are just an example listing and some of the neat program that you can consider. And some of the programs here, they actually launched during the COVID and after the COVID period. For example, the care economy categories, right? So the care economy categories here is all the programs relevant to healthcare industries. We do have demanding topics, which is data science in healthcare. You may, if you're interested in data science, but if you are in the healthcare industry, you may consider uh maybe I can do some highlight here. Masters of Science in Precision Health and Medicines and Masters of Science in Biomedical Informatics. These two are the data science related in healthcare. So if you're interested about like psychology or human behavior, you may consider Masters of Science in Behavioral and Implementation Sciences. You can not only consider this because okay, of course we have Masters of Psychology, Clinical Psychology, but there's many like demanding programs that you can also it's another options for you to look for. So you can consider these program as well. Okay. For another category here, it's green economy. So green economy here, it's about the programs that they're able to translate your passions in sustainability to a meaningful career. We have these Masters of Science in Environmental Management. This is strategic and flagship programs in our school. All right. It's already launched more than 20 years ago, and it's a multidisciplinary programs. Okay. When I say multidisciplinary programs, it's actually offered by a few schools. So business school, Scale, my faculties, CDE, the engineering school, science, law, and public policy. All of them work together and offer these programs. All right, so this actually opens to any disciplines and industry professionals who has a passions about environmental change, green energies, and sustainability. Any people like business students, engineering, science students. All right, so the next one is so just now I talked about the green category here, right? The next one is pretty straightforward, which is digital economy. It's all the programs related to IT. We do have many programs that is multidisciplinary programs under this category. The first one is actually Master of Science in AI and Innovations. It's actually for all disciplines. All right? All disciplines, meaning that if you are non-computing students and who are interested to upskills about AI, you may consider this Master of Science in AI and Innovations, open to any fields and working professionals. Um, if you are computing students and you already have like work experience, you can actually consider our Masters of Computing AI specializations. That one is more deep learning about AI, okay, special for the AI or computing professionals. Okay, so the next category, it's actually the others category. So for this category, we have Master of Science in Smart Industries and Digital Transformations. Okay, so this program, it's a multidisciplinary programs too. It's actually teaching you to learn about smart factory, how to operate a smart factory. Okay, you want to leverage your advanced tech knowledge into your specific industries. Okay, so there's a very uniqueness. There's uniqueness within these program is because you you will earn more than one certificate. So other than your graduate certificates, under the elective modules, you are able to earn the professional graduate certificates. So the students can choose uh, at least one graduate certificates from here along with your master's degree. All right, so this is your elective. So meaning that we give students freedom of choice to choose what they want to learn other than their fixed modules, their fixed courses. Okay, and for this program, there's a capstone project in these capstone project attachments, which means that the students are able to do a project or internships with our partner companies in Singapore before you complete the studies. Okay, so these programs, it's actually available for everyone. If you are, we do have a lot of students from engineering major, okay, engineering major or computing major. Okay, so this is another options for you. Okay, so the another one multidisciplinary programs is actually Masters of Science in Venture Creations. This is very, very popular in Indonesia because this is the programs that has the MOU with your with your government scholarship bodies, LPDP. Okay, they already have the MOU signed. So it is a very special and practical training programs. Masters of Science and Venture Creations, it's about if you're interested in startup, in entrepreneurships, you may consider these programs. So these program, there's important parties within the faculties as you can see here, which is the NUS Enterprise. Okay, so NUS Enterprise, right? They already have more than 20 years experience in nurturing the startup ecosystems in Singapore, not just NUS. Okay, so they have many successful story from this program. And so these program, our students are able to take part in practical components called Venture X Technopreneurship Studio. So this is not like a traditional project-based program. It's a hands-on course where our students from multidisciplinary teams, they're able to gain access to NUS intellectual properties and technology and you're able to work to create the prototypes and validate your business ideas to reality. Okay, so through the course, you guys are mentored by industry experts because they have partnered with more than 200 corporates to co-innovative solutions. For example, Alipay, Google, Huawei, Singapore Airlines. So it's actually from different industries. Okay. Um, so through these the course, you're able to have the opportunities to pitch your ventures to potential investors during your study term. So it's a deeply experiential learning process that will helps our students in real world innovations. And in fact, many our students even can continue to develop their business beyond the course. So sometimes we're progressing into our national level, national innovations program, such as our NUS GRIPS. So later I will talk about NUS GRIPS later. Okay, we have many successful stories from here. So these venture creations, it's all about startup, and we welcome any discipline student to consider if you have strong interest in to build up to become a founders of your business in the future. Okay, and this program we actually have the ASEAN scholarships available for the ASEAN nationals, especially Indonesians. Okay, and um we actually value diversity. So that's why we have the ASEAN scholarships. We are looking for more ASEANs in the classroom. We believe that diversity makes our venture creation class stronger. Okay, so that's all for the Masters by Coursework programs. And if you are interested in research, so study a research programs in our schools, you are able to work with the leading scholars on real world challenges. You are able to gain global exposure and the training and also the research excellence in the Asia's top university. Okay, so we currently have last year we have more than 12,000 paper has been published, and more than 42% are in the top 10% cited journals. So you can review these pages to know more about what are our core interdisciplinary research clusters right now. As you can see, the first one is health innovative. Okay, health innovative, anything about care economy, and of course the green economy, sustainability and urban solutions. Okay, and the next one is smart nations. The last one is material research. So these are our current core research clusters. So, if you are interested in research, you may head over to our official websites to know more about the research program. Okay. So for the next ones, in terms of the partner university, we have more than 300 plus across 40 countries. And as you can see the slide here, it's our it's our NUS Overseas Colleges program. So we have more than 50 plus right now. So these NUS we call NOC. All right. So these NOC, right, they serve as programs to provide our students um in terms of the infrastructures, our students are able to do internships in all these programs in the world. Okay. And in terms of the financial support, I will talk more about that later on. Okay. So talking about the career success and entrepreneurship. So this is what I'm talking about, the GREEP programs. The GREEP programs actually where our students can actually receive up to Singapore dollar 250,000 in funding support to commercialize your startup. Okay, so this is actually available for every NUS students, not just about the master's program, Master of Science in Venture Creations. We have successful story from this, who is Carousel. So you may Google it about our unicorns. They are currently hits USD $1 billion. Yeah, you may Google it about their successful story. All right. So that's all for the programs. And in terms of the campus lives, for me, I think that study is not just about books and libraries, especially your masters, your postgraduates, okay? Um, so in terms of the campus life, we have more than 200 student organizations and society in our campus. Okay. Um, in fact, there's 100% of our undergraduate students, they have the service learning. And our vibrance, because we embrace the vibrant campus cultures, we have arts, sports, community in our students' organizations. And so because we want to give a strong mentor and also support to our all international students. Okay. Yeah, so that's all for the campus life and move on to the financial supports. Okay. In NUS, we do have a lot of financial supports. Okay. But it really depends on the types of the programs. If talking about the Masters by Coursework programs, most of the Masters by Coursework programs is actually self-funded programs. So when it's a self-funded programs, it really depends on the faculties. They have the specific funding options for that particular programs. So you have to check on the official websites for more informations. Okay. For the research programs, most of the research program, they do have funding options. Okay, for example, NUS research scholarships. Yeah. So this is one of the example. You may scan this QR code to know more about that. Yeah. So in terms of the masters by coursework programs, I list a bit about the available scholarship for masters by coursework. So these are the listing. This is just an example. We do have a lot. So this is just an example of listing. Um, so if you're interested in business like finance, healthcare, digital marketing, data science, yeah, they do have full tuition fee scholarships. And if you want to know more about the application process, about these scholarship, please come to EduPack Kaplan. They will assist you further. All right, so move on further. In terms of the employability, we are ranked number 8 globally based on the latest global employability ranking. Why I show these fun fact is because I believe that most of the people who want to study overseas, especially in Singapore, most of you, your aim might be to settle down in Singapore after your graduates, okay? After you complete the studies, right? So, and so in terms of the tuition fee rate, is actually in our school for master's degree, is actually ranging from 35,000 and above. Okay, so as you can see, our tuition fee at our schools may be higher compared to the university in your countries, but it actually reflects the strong value of education in Singapore. Okay, so based on the employment data, our graduates uh benefits from the highest employability rate in Asia. Okay, there's 9 in 10 our graduates across the 17 courses. They are able to get a full-time job within 6 months after they complete their final exam. And in terms of the mean gross monthly salary, our NUS fresh graduates in full-time employments, they are able to get more than 5,000 Singapore dollar per month. So, all these strong facts making what initial seems like an affordable tuition fee, reasonable and worthwhile. Okay, so these can be your worthwhile investments uh, for your personal. All right, so you will think about whether you are able to work during your study terms for your master's degree. Yes, you are able to work as a part-timer, but not more than 16 hours per week during your school terms. Okay, and after you graduate, after your master's degree in NUS, the international students are able to apply a 1 year long-term visit pass to reside in Singapore without any reasons. So usually our international students, they will use this 1 year to figure it out. They want to settle down or they want to go back to your home countries for work. Okay, so actually there's another career gateway to your global career beyond Singapore is actually UK high potential individual visa. Okay, so in fact, there's only two public universities in Singapore. They are master's graduates. They have the privilege to apply these HPI visa after they complete the studies. And they are able to use this visa to stay in UK for 2 years. If you are PhD students, you can stay for 3 years. Okay, so this is another career pathway. Okay, not just about Singapore. All right, so you will think about how to apply and entry requirements. I would say why I'm not showing the specific admissions requirement, it's because each of programs, they have the specific requirements. They don't have the general one. If you're asking about the common elements for your academic results, is actually we actually so the entry requirements is for academic requirements is actually if you have bachelor's degree with honors, it's an honors degree, you are good to go. Okay? If your degree it's not an honors degree, but it's a 4 years degree, is actually equivalent to a bachelor's degree with honors, you are also good to go. Okay? So as you can see, we have many multidisciplinary programs, right? Multidisciplinary programs is actually welcome any major. So how we review individuals? Our admission teams actually adopt holistic approach to review each of you. All right. So other than your academic results, we're actually looking for your professional skills, your working experience, your CV, right? Other than your GPA. Okay, so in terms of the requirements, not just about um not just about if you have strong GPA 4.0 out of 4, you will straight get the offer to get in NUS. Not this is not a guarantee because we review you holistically. So when you sign up an applications, when you are drafting your application, usually we will encourage the student to submit your CV, to write a personal statements and highlights about any relevant projects relevant to your program interests that can enhance your applications. And another thing I want to highlight, especially for international applicants, is usually our programs, we will ask the international student to submit either TOEFL or IELTS because some of the programs they actually strictly required you, especially Indonesians, to submit the English test score for the applications. Okay, so in terms of the minimum score of your IELTS or the TOEFL, you also have to check on the websites. The common one is actually 6.0 for IELTS. TOEFL is actually 85, okay, the minimum score. But some of the program, their minimum score it's 6.0 and above. So you definitely have to check on our official websites for the actual requirements. Okay? So these are the few steps to submit your applications. If you are curious, if you need help, you may come to EduPack Kaplan's. They are our official marketing partners in Indonesia. They are based in Jakarta. So you can come to EduPack and they are happy to assist you further in terms of the admissions requirements. They can check for you. Okay, so I think that's all for my presentations today. This is my official's email address, and if you want to search for the programs that you are looking for, you can go to these websites. Okay, so these websites is for you to search. Like if you're interested in AI, we will list out all the AI relevant programs to you. So in NUS, we go green. So that's why currently there's many physical events in Indonesia, in ASEAN. We don't giving out any physical copies, brochures anymore. And we go green. So that's why all the information on our websites is actually up to date. All right, so you can scan this QR code to export. I think that's all for my sharing today.
Okay, that's great. So, teman-teman, thank you so much for attending to this online event today on your weekend. It's Saturday. Uh, I hope we're really sorry that we cannot answer all your questions because we have another meeting to catch. So, further questions atau ada pertanyaan lain atau teman-teman yang mau apply dan masih bingung, itu boleh kontak aku. Aku udah WhatsApp kalian semua dari kemarin dan hari ini. Tinggal chat aja, Kak, aku mau apply, atau Kak, aku mau tanya tentang ini, feel free to contact me. But seperti yang sebelumnya, I have limited knowledge about PhD, tapi kalau kamu tanya tentang master, I'm really happy to answer all the questions, gitu ya. Terus kemudian yang kedua, teman-teman boleh kirim aku lagi kalau misalnya teman-teman mau recordingnya, nanti aku akan kirim the link, but please just send me a message, Kak, recording, that's all. Jadi aku bisa send you all the recording of today's event gitu ya. So I think that's all teman-teman. Again, thank you so much for attending today's event. A big thank you for Miss Summer Chan from NUS for bringing the presentation and answers all the questions today. We hope you guys have a good and lovely weekend. Thank you.